Hey everybody, gonna give it a couple minutes, wait till everybody, some people show up. Give it time to go.
What did you think of that story, Ryan, about the Congress holding up the payments?
Oh, I got a lot to think about that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna share this on my regular feed. Let's see here.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we're good.
Got 6 people.
Let's do this.
Oh wow. Yeah. Logan and Michael and Dwayne and Perkins is watching.
Here.
And yeah, getting there. I'll tell you what. While we're waiting to people catch up, for those of you who don't know me, name's Ryan Trundle. I'm running for Congress. I've been working to make the world a better place most of my life with groups like All Streets, All People, Voices of the Experience, Dallendale Strong, Bold Louisiana, Sierra Club, Greenpeace, a whole bunch of different organizations all my life since I was 9. Been perfectly happy as a volunteer and organizer, but I've always stepped up when I'm needed. And if there was ever a time we need a progressive moral voice in Congress, it's now. The Republicans, including Mike Johnson, are doing everything they can to end Social Security, end Medicaid and Medicare, CHIPS, get rid of the Environmental Protection Agency, consumer protection, basically anything that helps regular people. Children are still being torn from their mothers and held in cages. Our allies are being turned into enemies. Meanwhile, 150,000 people have needlessly died from a preventable pandemic. Trade wars have cost our farmers billions of dollars, manufacturers too. Our most vulnerable in need of help are being pushed aside to give trillions of dollars to the wealthy. We need people in Congress who care more about the people they represent than corporations that fill their pockets. That's why I refuse super PACs. I don't take any money from corporations. And I'm going to work tirelessly to end Citizens United, keeping unethical money out of politics. We're a grassroots campaign. We don't have piles of money, and we don't hire professionals to write fancy speeches, tell us what people want to hear. So what we do is this. We talk to people. We go down to Farmersville and Vivian and Eunice and find what people actually want. And everywhere we go, they always say the same thing. People want a living wage. No one should work 40 hours a week and still be in poverty. This includes our military, which more than 40% of active duty families are eligible for food assistance. If you own a business right now, more than half the people in your area can't afford what you're selling. Raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour could double your business. There are entire zip codes in our district that don't pay taxes. Imagine what kind of budget we would have for police, infrastructure, and schools if we raised the wage. We could actually start paying teachers almost what they're worth. Teachers are, of course, priceless and could never be paid too much, in my opinion. Of course, my mom's a teacher, so I'll say that. Another thing, people want universal health care, like Medicare for all. Health insurance premiums are skyrocketing. Hundreds of thousands of people with insurance will go bankrupt this year because of medical bills. Half of everybody that gets seriously ill. with insurance goes bankrupt. We pay more than any other country for less coverage, and a lot of the premiums you pay goes to CEOs making thousands of dollars an hour. It's time to join the rest of modern society and guarantee health care as a right. Also, people want to strengthen and expand Social Security and Medicare. It's horrible that after paying into these programs their whole life, seniors are forced to choose between food and medicine. Mike Johnson and the other Trumpsters recently voted to steal $2.9 trillion from Social Security. Thankfully, it didn't pass, but when I'm in Congress, I will fight to give our seniors a living income. People also want free colleges and trade schools. Everyone deserves a chance to achieve the American dream. We bailed out the billionaires on Wall Street, the automobile manufacturers, the banks, and still had enough left over to give the wealthiest in the country a $1.4 trillion bonus. I say it's time to bail out the millions burdened with student loans, too. People are tired of their despairing rights at work. We must strengthen our unions, promote democracy in the workplace, and ensure equality for all. Our letter carriers, firemen, teachers, tradesmen, police deserve nothing less. Lastly, people want access to medicine legal in 30 other states. When I get to Congress, I'll fight to end the federal prohibition of marijuana. We have great news, though. This race, there are 2 Republicans running, 2 Democrats. It's anybody's game. This blue wave is real. We are going to take back the Senate, take back the House. Progressives are winning all across the country. Even lifelong Republicans are standing up against Trump and his horrible agenda and the bootlickers that support him. People across the country are fighting for freedom. Freedom from infringement on civil and constitutional rights, freedom from government control of our bodies, our voices, and what we grow in our gardens, freedom to buy a house or a cake no matter what you look like or who you love, freedom to walk down the street without being arrested because you fit the profile. We're going to win this fight. We only need 120,000 votes to win. There are 185,000 Democrats in our district. There are 100,000 independents in our district, more than half of whom are progressive. There are only 125,000 Republicans. We were an underdog last time, but we have a clear path to victory this time. Everybody knows about us from here to Opelousas, and without corporate sponsors, though, Koch brothers and super PACs, like my opponent, we'll need your help. So talk to your friends, talk to your friends' friends, talk to the people waiting in line. If you're on social media like you are now, make sure you share us. And do we have a frame yet? I think we have a frame that you can put on your picture. And just $5 a week will help us reach thousands of people. So that's a little speech introducing myself. I guess we can get started with the news. There's a lot going on this week.
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
I just saw something that was posted about Congress reached a deadlock with the White House on extending these benefits that are expired.
Yeah.
Now they're gone.
Yeah.
So what's everybody going to do this week?
Right. So Mitch McConnell has been sitting on a relief bill for 2.5 months while people are unemployed, getting evicted, millions without health care in the middle of a pandemic. This relief package is supposed to include another $1,200 check for everybody. Would make $2,400 so far since the pandemic. Equals about $13 a day to live on. Not that much. Canada's giving everybody $2,000 a month to live on, and they've suspended mortgage and rent payments. They want to, another part of the bill, they've reduced unemployment benefits senators making $3,700 a week think that $600 a week is too much for a family to live on. They're going to cut that down probably to $400 a week. Of course, if you're homeless, that might be enough money to live on. For the past 3 months, 1/3 of America has been late on their mortgage or rent. Eviction protection ended last week? I think it was last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
And today's the first. People are already getting evicted all over the country. Supposedly, there's something in this new bill that they haven't passed yet that'll help people out with that. Of course, they have to pass it first. Yeah, 1 million families missed a mortgage payment or rent payment. Of course, you know there's millions and millions of homes across the country that are empty, vacant, sitting there, homes and apartments. I wonder who they think's going to fill those. Let's see here. They've got more money for corporations to keep people working, and they're going to give some money to schools to open them up. But there's no money for the health care to the millions of people that don't have it and will get sick because everybody has to work and go to school. No death benefits for the thousands of families left behind because of this administration's complete incompetence. They are also, let's see here. I think that's about it on there. Oh no, you know what? That's one. 45 actually got something right. Trump actually did something right.
What?
Yeah. So part of this bill, they want to Mitch McConnell and some of the senators want to say that corporations can't be sued for COVID-19, for this pandemic. So if you're one of these people that's trying to sue for not having to make people wear masks, right? And you're not enforcing that rule in your restaurant, and you're not cleaning things, and people start catching the COVID-19 from your restaurant and dying, their families can't sue you. Well, they can right now because you'd be liable. That's negligent and stupid. But Mitch McConnell wants to make that give you immunity from that. And 45 actually said he doesn't want that in, which is really surprising to me since it's he's been sued 3,500 times, 135 times while since he's in office. That's a record.
I think he's also set some kind of record for most team members, staff members in jail.
In jail,
right?
Could be.
Certainly vying with Nixon.
Reagan had
Reagan.
135 staff members either indicted or convicted. They're neck and neck. They're both pretty terrible.
Well, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Maybe his crew isn't as dangerous so far.
So the head of a school district in our area is against opening the schools. The incompetent, negligent school board doesn't care what he thinks, and they want to send everybody back to school. They're going to make teachers sign a waiver saying they won't sue when they catch COVID and die. Intelligent teachers who refuse to sign will be fired. The ones that cannot afford it financially, or ones that think it's all a hoax like Herman Cain, are just stuck. They're already underpaid and overworked, and now they have added an additional 2.5 hours daily unpaid. You don't get any extra pay for the 2.5 extra hours. They have to take kids' temperatures when they come in after they've already ridden the bus there and walked around with their friends before class. Also, after the 5 to 14 days, you've been contagious without showing symptoms like a fever. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that does. They're supposed to bring the kids to the bathroom 9 times a day for hand washing. They must disinfect every desk and room between each class with their own supplies, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There's no contingency plan for sick children or when the teachers become symptomatic. And what do? You quarantine the whole school for 2 weeks and then come back and see if everybody...
Right, so here's my question, and I'm so grateful that I'll be with you at Magnet's graduation. Our kids are graduating high school, but then what? But as the schools, it's absolutely necessary, according to the administration, that we open schools right away.
Yeah.
But maybe we should wait to vote, delay voting, but open schools
Right? Yeah.
right now. You know, how much sense does
You
that
can delay
make?
voting, but not schools. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And mail-in's bad, even though the president mails his in.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he's special. I
Yeah.
guess. On several different levels, he's very
Yeah.
special.
And absentee voting, which is mail-in, is
Mm-hmm.
apparently okay from overseas from hundreds of different countries. That's fine, exchanging hands dozens of times, but mailing 100 miles away is bad. I don't get it.
Okay, I've got 2 questions that came in earlier today. The first question that came in was, where are you on vaccines? And it didn't really specify vaccines in general, or you're an anti-vaxxer, but I was thinking more like, where are you on the vaccine that doesn't exist yet? You know, but it is in production, so would you take that vaccine?
Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah?
If they have one, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got all my vaccines. My kids have all their vaccines. That's why they didn't get sick.
Yeah, same, right?
Yeah.
I didn't.
My dad got polio. I didn't.
And
I got a vaccine. He didn't.
yeah, because
Yeah.
polio was the last pandemic I remember, but it was already over because of the polio vaccine. But there were people that were still very sick from it when I was a child. And so I'm a vaxxer. I like the idea. The odds are with
I
me.
enjoy not getting sick.
Yeah, I'm also a gambler. I'm a betting man, and I would bet that the vaccine's going to help me
It's a
more
pretty
than not
safe
the
bet.
vaccine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Also, Herman Cain attended the Trump rally in Tulsa June 20th. No mask, no social distancing. Tested positive for COVID-19 June 29th. Hospitalized July 1st. Tweeted from the hospital bed against masks for the Mount Rushmore mega rally July 4th.
People were fed up with the masks, is what he said, right? Yeah, he had enough of them.
Yeah, well, he doesn't ever have to wear one again.
Yeah, he's free from this.
He died on the 30th.
Mhm.
That's what not wearing a mask does to you. What was the other question?
The other question was about what is your day like when you're not here
When I'm not here.
at the office? You can't go out and get busy knocking on doors and showing up to the Lions Club and that sort of thing. So how are you dealing with COVID as far as the campaign?
Well, I wear a mask everywhere I go. I wash my hands all the time. Of course, we can't go have big rallies and go talk to groups, hundreds of groups all at once. We just have to talk to as many people we can over social media and calling and emailing, and it's not easy.
Yeah. And there's not really been any, I mean, all the campaigns are kind of having to feel their way in this new COVID era. So,
Well, some of them don't care.
Well, some of them have $800,000 and
Have big rallies with no mask.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to kill anybody, and I
That's
don't want
true, too.
anybody, infecting me. I'm going to take a pass on that. It's just not worth it. As you heard about the Shreveport Economic Recovery Task Force and their new plans?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but
You pretty much just read the last one.
what's that?
Spend a whole bunch of money we don't have and hope people will move here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something I actually know something about. I've studied it.
That's
And
the plan.
that never works. And if we spend $1 billion starting next year
Next
on a
year.
highway that would go 3 miles right by
Yeah.
downtown,
Yeah.
we could all drive on it in 2038 at the earliest if it went smoothly.
2038, yeah.
And it could handle 3,500 cars a day.
Yeah.
Expected traffic would save 2 minutes on their trip through downtown. So I don't see where the win is on that.
Yeah, get people out of town faster so they won't spend money here. That doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also includes building a brand new state building, a new justice center, rebuilding Texas Street again, rebuilding surrounding neighborhoods, also known as regentrification.
Right.
Move the poor people out, move rich people in,
Right.
or hope rich people move in.
Allendale's the safest neighborhood in Shreveport. I'm there all the time. In the police districts, it's low crime. And there's a couple of reasons. One, they all care about each other, mostly because of the community renewal movement inside that neighborhood. And then two, they're homeowners, so they love their homes. The ones that own
There's some nice
own the
brand new
homes.
homes.
Yeah, they're cool. And so good people, neighbors caring about each other, that's something Shreveport can do really well.
Oh, yeah.
And I would say that Shreveport should work on the small things. You know,
Yeah.
we're only as strong as our weakest neighborhoods. We don't need stronger highways. Let's fix the old ones, the bad
Yeah.
ones.
Well, there's a
Treat
list of,
ourselves to nicer highways.
there's a list of renovations needed to structure street systems, parks, departments, sewers, waters, like big, huge list of stuff that we've been ignoring for years. Digital infrastructure, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I could go with that.
That's definitely needed. I mean,
That would go great all over the district rather than
Oh,
building
yeah.
$1 billion highway
mhm.
here. What if
Yeah.
all of LA4 had high-speed internet available
Right.
for all, since we're moving to home study instead
Yeah.
of in-classroom
Yeah.
study?
And so many people are working online now, and we're about 20 years overdue.
Right.
Fast, reliable, inexpensive internet should be a utility available to everyone. The U.S. has some of the most expensive internet in the world. I did not know this. It's not the fastest either. 118 countries have cheaper internet than we do. Most are faster and more available.
Yeah.
Oh, and a lot of cities have citywide free Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Very
and
nice.
when Asian visitors come here, say they're scouting out maybe to build a new
Yeah.
factory or something, but
That's the first thing they look
they
at.
report that the Wi-Fi here is it's like being back at summer camp when we were kids. No phones, no
Yeah.
nothing. They feel really disconnected with our poor Wi-Fi
Yeah.
system. Okay,
Back in the
so
Stone Age.
shout out to Alvin who's watching,
Yeah.
and shout out to Eric who has a question. And
Oh yeah. What's up, Eric?
Eric, top fan, says, what do you think about the bar owners suing John Bell Edwards over the closures and this is a real controversy because everything science is saying is close the bars and
Yeah.
those are super spreader points.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a federal issue, but what do you think about
But,
it?
and you can't wear a mask while you're drinking.
You tried it one time, though. You were so comfortable in your mask that you didn't know it was on.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
And that
But you know-
milkshake poured all over you.
We've got to make sure that that we help bar owners with
Mhm.
that. I mean, you force them to shut down for public safety makes sense, but you can't just do it and let them starve. And you give trillions of dollars to these huge corporations, and the little businesses got left out. More than 85% of all that stimulus money went to huge corporations
Mm-hmm.
and not little businesses. It should have been opposite.
Yeah, strengthen
Yeah.
the weakest in society, and our whole society's stronger. The weakest
Exactly.
link in the chain breaks the chain.
Yeah.
So I don't get the strength in the top.
Well,
I'm still waiting on my trickle down from Reagan years.
right.
When I was working at Porter's Cleaners, it was all going to trickle down
Right.
pretty directly. It didn't.
Well, that's
And
a
shout out to
problem.
Porter's, I love you guys, but yeah, it was no trickle down in the 80s.
Yeah, that's the problem with the big money in government. Huge corporations buy their politicians, and that's who they make the laws for. What else? Let's see. They're building. They want to build a tire recycling facility, which is good. Glass recycling facility. Urban art agriculture initiatives, like urban farms. Like all these little hundreds and hundreds of empty lots we have around here. Put a little community garden.
Right, and we're doing that all over Shreveport.
Yeah.
John Paul Young, Republican commissioners, been
Yeah.
adamant about that, and Allendale Strong is about 2.5 years into creating our first food market co-op that would be open daily, and you can own it if you want to meet up with some of them Saturday morning. They'll be down at the
Saturday
farmers market talking
farmers
co-op. Yeah, at the farmers market talking co-ops.
Allendale Co-ops.
So that's a
Love
really
co-ops.
cool thing, and an outgrowth, a positive outgrowth of all the drama over what are we going to do about Allendale.
Right. Let's see. They want to fix Jimmy Davis Bridge because it's structurally deficient. Has been for.
Hey, there's
Years
$100
and
million
years.
sitting there right now. They could have
Yeah.
started it February and created all those jobs right before the
Right.
pandemic, but some of the Republican politicians said no.
Yeah,
Let's
they wanna
hold
fix
on to
the
that
bridges.
$100 million that would have fixed the bridge. It's actually shovel ready.
Yeah. It's structurally deficient doesn't mean it's unsafe, they say. It simply means one or more of the components of the bridge are in need of repairs and could fall off. Not unsafe.
Okay, last question comes from Top Fan. These Top Fans are great with their questions. Logan asks, should Trump be prosecuted after his term ends? He's broken so many laws.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that he has because they haven't been able to prosecute him now, but that would be one way to find out, I guess.
Well, nobody's above the law. Anybody should be prosecuted and held accountable for what they do, I'd say.
Yeah, well, one last appeal. Where can we find you coming up?
Right here.
Yeah, 'cause you can't go anywhere.
We
But
can't go anywhere.
social media?
Social
You're on
media, we're
LinkedIn
on
now, right?
LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, of course Facebook, and yeah, you have any more questions, shoot us a line. Let's see here. There's one more thing I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, I thought it was pretty funny with this whole 49 through Allendale thing.
Yeah.
And the Civil War, the Confederate monument, everybody up in arms about. Oh, we can't take it down. It's historical. There's a Civil War site that they want to build a highway on. Nobody said anything
Yeah,
about that.
actually hand built by slaves.
Yeah.
That's descendants still live in the neighborhood.
Right?
And
What did
there's some 40 other historic sites all through Shreveport's history, from the time when Italians lived there to African Americans. That's such a historic neighborhood, and it's illegal to build through this, but they're working on finding a way.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
It's time, man. That flew by really fast. So
Right. Oh, is it time?
It's time.
No. Alrighty.
So,
Well, thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Go to RyanTrundle.com and click that little donate button. Help us buy some billboards and yard signs and whatnot, and we'll see you in a little bit. Bye.